Hello, everybody. It's 3/26/2024. It's been a long time. A lot has happened since I made a video. I closed my record store. I got to update my description, actually. I haven't included anything about that. Um, so I auctioned everything off. The building's still up for sale. I just decided to get out of it because I saw the economy's not getting better. Uh, the market is really tough now for reselling as well, or selling in general, as the competition's pretty thick because every man, woman, and child, it seems, person is a reseller. Everybody's going around with their Google Lens now, scanning everything, so everybody knows their values. You can't get a deal on stuff anymore where you can make a profit. Everyone wants to sell it at retail. So, long story short, I just decided to get out of it while I can. Take a summer off. I haven't really vacationed in, well, about 10 years at least. So yeah, I'm going to take some time off. What I wanted to talk to about you today is we constantly hear more and more about people have had it with inflation. That's it. I'm done. Well, here's my thing. I go back to one instance I remember. It was on my first deployment when I was in the service, and our first sergeant, James G, I'll call him, uh, he liked to stand in front of us and give us these long speeches about how him and his brother were in a hippie commune, and when he was at home, their dad told him, "How long are you going to keep your feet under my table? Get out of here, get a job." And he liked to he liked to use fear tactics, and I think most senior NCOs in the military were probably trained to use fear tactics when it came time for retention, as far as keeping people in, getting them to reenlist, especially at that time. That was during the troop surge. And guess what happened at that time? The financial crisis, the '08 financial crisis happened during that time. And we were standing before him one day, and he was telling us, "You're going to want to reenlist. It's really bad out there right now. It's really bad. Look at, people with degrees, they can't get jobs. What do you think you're going to get?" So I didn't reenlist myself. I didn't reenlist that time around, but by the second deployment, I did. I was like, yeah, things still ain't looking all that great. But now while I was in, I got to say, other people I've met, great NCOs, leaders, taught me how to invest. We had financial classes, and I did. It worked out good because the stock market was getting bailed out during that time. So for probably about 10 years, I did okay. But there too, I remember starting a high interest savings account with ING Direct right before, which is now Capital One 360. But at that time, it was right before the financial crisis, and yeah, interest looked good. It was like 3-4%, kind of where it is now for the most part. And all of a sudden that crashed, and interest rates didn't even start recovering till not that long ago. Because right after that, they went down to nothing, pretty much, for the most part. CDs weren't paying anything good. And if you look at history, you go back to, previous generations, like boomers will say, "Oh, well, we went through that too in the early 80s. There was massive recession." Well, yeah, but the thing of it is, back then, the interest actually matched the inflation, which now they downplay. So that saves banks a lot too. Otherwise, banks should be paying us probably 17-20%. Because if you go back to that time, there were banks paying like over 10%, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong. If you were alive during that time or have done more research on the financials of that period, it'd be interesting to see. But from people I talked to that were alive during that time, that's what they told me. So it's like, well, at least if you had money stuck away, you were able to keep up with inflation. And of course, things got really good once again I would say from 1984 to 2008. There again, boomers had a solid, 20, 25 years of nothing but solid growth. Most of their working years, right? Uh, so now, what's with the economy now? Well, we got to keep endless wars going on because that's the economy. I remember one guy, a retired gunnery sergeant, also from Minnesota, on my first deployment. worked rations, or he worked receiving at the DFAC. Anyways, yeah, KBR guy. But I remember him saying one day after the financial stuff already started happening, he said, "Yeah, but this war is great for the economy." And it's like that's America in a nutshell. That's exactly what Eisenhower warned us against, was here's the military industrial complex. That seems to be America's answer. As we can see, most likely that's why things are happening the way they are in the world now, where we have wars in multiple places and they want to start more wars. They keep pushing it. So it's like, yeah, I think they know that the only thing we have to go off anymore is the military industrial complex. So in other words, let's encourage wars to have America have somewhat of an economy. What I mean, yeah, we're literally being, our overlords are literally satanic worshippers, probably, because it's like, how can you be okay with knowingly killing innocent people to support your economy? I can't believe it. Um, but yeah, I'm gonna keep it short for now. Once again, as always, I'm never rehearsed. I just felt I had to get that off of my shoulders. See if there's anybody out there that cares or wants to comment, start a conversation. Take care.